Excited is the opposite of boring. Ari's cool. Early game junglers in Zhao. That's cool. And, well, let's not talk about Tryndamere.
Yeah, let's not talk about Tryndamere. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to talk about Tryndamere because
Okay.
that's the angle for luxury, realistically, as I see it. Because if you can put some early points into Coded, put some pressure up there, get an early kill under his belt before that level 6 mark, maybe you can get Coded into a position where he can just sort of keep raining on enough poke that Poss never feels comfortable going for that all-in. It's not really likely because hooray, Tryndamere here gets suppress R and do stupid things because good game, Riot. Thank you for this champion. But that's what you need to do against Tryndamere usually. I feel if you can sort of set him behind, you can put your top lane in a comfortable position where the Tryndamere can't quite just force the dives over and over again and get away with it. As for the rest of the map, you should sort of naturally be winning, as long as you can keep an eye on Fook 1 and not let them get into the lanes properly. I think Ari's a little bit slower compared to the LeBlanc to get going, but once that mid game hits, it's gonna hit really hard. That one item spike rather than full mid game, and it's a lethality Xayah. She hurts really hard. CBL does a lot of damage on this time Kench. As you can see, we've already forced a flash out of Ron. And yes, there's a health lead for Cerberus, but you can see those summoners have just been forced out.
Now, we're talking about Cerberus against Luxury, and as a result, there is one player that we have to talk about. Artemis is what you thought I was going to say, but it's actually Killer Queen, because Killer Queen was so vital to Luxury in the Winter Split, but here in Spring Split 2022 has not quite been performing to those same high standards. Now he's on this Viego, he's got Blazes on a LeBlanc, he has got coated on a Jace. He has the ability to be enabling two huge factors for his team.
Yeah, hopefully being able to work off a little bit of this pressure once Blazes can start clearing waves more effectively, and especially just working alongside the Jace, should hopefully be able to sort of push in and be a lot more aggressive. Seeing a good early move up towards Poss right now, it's a huge wave. It's a very decent dive angle. Here it comes.
It was on a ward. Poss has just hit level 3. And having that one extra ability could have been vital if a dive did come through. So Killer Queen just decides to do a howdy and a chow chow.
Coward. You got us all excited, and then you just walk away. Anyway,
it's the measured Killer Queen. How often can we say that, Marby?
It's probably the fairly reasonable play to actually take, but anyway, he's going to wander his way down with his Scuttle Crab. He's still got this entire top side left clear, minus some chickens, but this does mean that there's an opportunity for this bot side control to fall into the side of Fook 1, but Luxury have already been pushed quite far back under tower, not going to look for that sort of 2v3 dive. It's quite a tricky one to do with a lot of potential backfire thanks to that blade call.
Most of those pots as well in the bottom lane have now been using as Artemis, who finds himself with a CS lead, which is not really surprising. Artemis, a very good ADC. I mean, we were talking a little bit in the break about how Artemis hasn't quite been at the same heights as previously, not quite as much of a gap between himself and then some of the other good ADCs in the league, such as Style, Shogun, as there comes the engage from Ron OP. Vit forced to flash over the Flame Chompers. Fook 1 was ready to engage, but he never quite got close enough.
Yeah, the presence of Fook 1 means that one Grand Entrance gets 2 flashes for free. Now, Coded's going to take it to Poss, should not be able to really commit too hard to it. Now Yada's in trouble. Chains land.
Ethereal Chains flashes away, stunned under their own tower, which means that there's no way for Killer Queen to follow up on the play from Blazes LeBlanc. And they're just going to reset behind the walls. Still, so far, 5 minutes into this game, no kills, but there have been quite a few summoners that have been burnt, which might be leaving a few players open to a potential gank in the near future.
Yeah, lots of flashes burned. A ghost in the top lane from Poss being forced out as well. So these junglers and these supports as well are definitely going to be sort of looking to try and make things happen, get out, get roaming. There's an early Cloud Drake, so if you want to put the pressure towards that as a good charm lance, should not. Okay, that's an all-in.
That's a lot of minion damage, and it means First Blood gets picked up by Yado. CBL diving in, but he's too late to save his mid laner. And now he is just a catfish, and a dead catfish at that, as Fuquan picks up the second kill for Cerberus.
Well, that's one way to start it. Land a good charm and kind of just have the right amount of damage, and the support is a little bit late from Luxury, but it's right on time for Cerberus to punish that entrance from CBL. It's really just a bit unfortunate to give up that second kill. This is actually something.
Vit just can't land the feathers, tries to go for the blade caller. Artemis flashes out, the heal is massive, but the final order from Artemis gets the kill. That was some really nice little bits of micro that we saw. There were some painful moments as well, but it is Artemis who comes out on top.
Yeah, we just see, he just ate a chain and just a bit too much damage from these Foxfires. And CBL, yeah, he quite probably could have walked away if it wasn't for Fuquan and Rono B walking in, cutting off both angles of retreat. Just unfortunate. And then on the bot side, yeah, great flash from Artemis, being pretty much the only one left in that bot lane with one. That lethal tempo was putting in so much work, but if that E had hit, that could have won the fight for Vit. But as it is, great flash, saves the whole play. And Cody's just going to happily sort of wail away, but he has to be a bit careful because the all-in can come in at any time now. Here it comes.
There's a big wave, and, well, Poss doesn't care. He drops down the Undying Rage. Yado is here. Can you sidestep the charm? You flash out on the Orb of Deception. The charm lands, and Yado picks up the kill. A great roam from the Cerberus mid laner.
Yeah, this should put Poss into a bit more of a comfortable position. He can start moving towards some of these big ticket items that will actually help him stand up some of the poke. If he can grab that, if he goes for that Hullbreaker early, he can withstand a lot more of that poke. If he goes for the extra dash of the Gale Force, bit of an option. Options are available for this first item, but going for grabbing this early, but with that Doran's shield in pocket as well, that helps. That should save him a little bit from this poke. Oh, CBL, that's bad.
Well, fell Abyssal dive, and it just means it's a free grand entrance from Rono P. Now CBL is low for this dive. This could end really badly. Artemis has just hit level 6 as well. Gets a kill onto CBL, gets excited. No. Now looks for Killer Queen, picks that one up. Vit's the only member left standing, and it is a 2-for-2. It is disastrous for Luxury. And Poss and Fuquan just take this opportunity to pick up the Rift Herald.
CBL dies immediately thanks to that level up, and with that jungler exposed and destroyed on the bot side, yeah, it's a freebie for Cerberus on this side. They're gonna pick this up. Poss lurking. Fuquan can flash over the wall to catch him out as well. Goodbye, Coated.
Now just spinning at Coated, and well, is the level 6 available for Poss? It isn't, but it's not needed. Poss picks up the solo kill. I don't think Fuquan actually was needed to do anything there.
No, he really just sort of helped funnel in Coated, cut off a means of escape. And that's all he really needed to do. He ends up getting that kill as a solo kill, so a little bit of gold tonight. Yado is going to be maybe a kill back? Nope, that's alright.
Not happening.
Nah, yeah, nothing happens.
So, right now, I'm looking as Vit somewhat getting dived on, but Rono P just has the battle dodge. I'm looking at Blazes, because whenever I see a LeBlanc, if the LeBlanc can get ahead, they can do so much work, especially when you're looking at members like an Ari, a Jinx, a Rakan. If Blazes gets one item, or maybe 2 items, Blazes is at a stage where they can one-shot, or almost one-shot, practically anywhere.
Yeah, Blazes is unfortunately, he's been a little bit bullied. He's been losing this matchup, so he's fallen back into these Merc trades, which isn't too bad. You don't necessarily need that extra penetration, but if you can't get ahead, the lack of damage will potentially hurt. Because if you do go that little bit risky of a build, and then you find those chains onto Artemis and can pop him, that can save the whole game, turn it all around. As is, you're probably going to land those chains, do a little bit of damage, but Artemis is going to be able to slink back into the shadows and just rain rockets from afar. So, yeah, it's as long as he can find a bit of farm on the map, maybe find some pressure and some turret plates somewhere, make actual moves into a side lane and pick up some kills, and just try and get a little bit of an advantage because he's just falling a bit too far behind, a bit too early. So he just needs that little bit extra oomph. Once he gets that Ludens, it's a bit better, but that Ludens is still kind of a fair bit away.
Don't forget, prior to week 4, Cerberus were on an 8-game win streak, as that's a charm, but Killer Queen able to buffer the ultimate. Flashed over the wall, but Yado still chasing. Waiting for that next charm to come up, going under the wall. Killer Queen somehow still alive. And Blazes to the rescue, somewhat down to half health. And the rocket will take Blazes even lower.
Oh, okay, CBL. Okay. That could have gone...
Palette's playing for a lot of teams right now. I don't know how they're managing that one.
Yeah, look, okay. I'm surprised Blazes is still sticking around. There was a lot of opportunities to just try and punish a little bit harder, push in. I guess Blazes still has a lot of that burst potential because he didn't really use anything. He just ate a lot of damage, so could have tried to turn it on Yado, so they're playing it extra safe and transitioning to this bot side play, where Artemis should be the big recipient of this gold. But if this charges, if they get it low enough, maybe Vit becomes...
Ooh, Blade Caller is down as well now for Vet.
Yeah, they still have to watch Devour though. That's still a threat, so they're going to call the whole thing off.
Yeah, no quickness available either for Ron OP, and just too many things missing for Cerberus if they do want to go for the dive. And Ignite would have also been very helpful, but Luxury survive to fight another day, I guess. And that tower precariously low. We talked about Killer Queen, Killer Queen giving Kota some love in the top lane. We haven't really seen that too much. We saw the one posture for that dive in the early few minutes, but that was warded out by Poss, and since then, Killer Queen hasn't really looked towards the top lane.
No, it's been Cerberus making sure their Tryndamere gets into a comfortable position. We saw Yado make an early move, then the fight on the Rift Herald, it resulted in a kill because Kota decided to aggress down and poke his head in where he shouldn't have, and it's worked out quite well for Poss. He's sitting quite comfy right now. He's been able to push in and actually out-push and do more damage to the tower than the Jace. Just a little bit, just about. He's actually going to even it up here. But it doesn't matter, because on the bot side, Artemis is getting the whole damn tower.
First tower of the game, picked up by Cerberus, exactly where Cerberus really want to be putting their gold. Always feed Artemis. That's the rule 1 of the how to play a Cerberus notebook.
And this feels really weird from Luxury because they're playing so reserved, so quiet, not really trying to make too much happen. CBL really felt like the only one who attempted anything, and it has backfired a little bit. And yeah, they're just not they're not trying to push any aggression. Blazes has been permanently planted in this mid lane. I have not seen him move at all. Granted, he's kind of losing the shove to the Ahri, and he's going to keep losing the shove as Jinx transitions around the map and will eventually wind up in this mid lane, but as is, they're gonna try and take this top tower down first, which is completely fair and reasonable. They are also in position to pick up this Rift Herald upon spawn, which should be just soon. And can Luxury actually have anything to say about it? They do have great AoE potential, so something could happen. Kota has no TP, so it will be that 4v4 unless they actually commit to walking across map. As is, Luxury corralled under their tower. This should be a very easy startup for Cerberus. They don't want to get too cushy because of that AoE damage.
There would have been a 4v3 because Blazes was still in the mid lane, but now that Yado has returned, we are looking at a 3-on-3. It is Cerberus with the goal lead.
Mid's happening. Blazes is dead. Or
low.
Yeah. They attempt
well.
Oh, he's dead.
oh, okay. Hey, Poss, what are you doing over there? That's not your side of the map. As Killer Queen gets a shutdown onto Yado. I think that's a worthwhile 1v1 for Luxury, mid for mid, and Killer Queen getting the gold. If you want someone to have the gold for this Luxury side, you wouldn't complain with Killer Queen getting it, especially on a Viego, a champion that can turn team fights around.
Yeah, you're able to trade 1-for-1 overall. You do end up trading a turret as well on top of that. It's going to be traded pretty much immediately thanks to this Rift Herald, but that's fine. Oh, it's a big play. Oh, it's
There's
bad
big
play.
play. Blade Caller drop down. Fook 1 will fall. Rono, Pia, Artemis on the run. But CBL with the Abyssal Dive will be able to get the knock up. And Artemis trying to get onto CBL, but the shield is just big enough. And it's 2 kills going over to Killer Queen. And another shutdown as well. Coated spotting out Posse on the Krugs. And he says, hey, those are my Krugs. Leave him alone.
Hey, yeah, that was very aggressive. That was very not on the same page. They did not have. Okay, here we see this mid lane, and yeah, Posh just pops Ghost, uses Flash, spins around, is invulnerable. It's dead Blazes.
Oh.
Take 2.
Wait, no! It's the other Blazes! Oh, he couldn't kill Poss. He tried. He got so close. Now Fook 1 seeing Killer Queen. It's a battle of the junglers, or at least it was until Vit showed up. Now it's going to become the battle of the junglers plus 1 member from the bottom lane. And Cerberus and Luxury both decide to back off. A mutual agreement to leave.
Yeah, gonna find an interrupt there. That should be the end of it. He forces the ultimate just from
Hillisang, is that
sheer
you?
bluff. Just from bluffing, but yeah, we saw that this should be no, okay, it's gonna be the another Blazes. Let me guess, Blazes starts this off, and look, it's actually a fair amount of damage down, but he commits himself into a position that Yado can punish. And overall, actually, the replay showed
couldn't get the auto.
And the replay showed us that it's actually Luxury that were able to grab that a tower on that top side as well, because of Cerberus flubbed the Rift Herald conversion play. They're still sitting on the Rift Herald. They don't have a tower taken, so it's actually brought Luxury into a pretty comfortable gold. It's a pretty much exactly 1,000 gold. They're sitting pretty okay. As long as Blazes doesn't keep walking into people.
Do you remember last split when we were talking about how Blazes was in contention for being one of the best mid laners? And, well, he lands the second Ethereal Chain. Crescent Guard drop down. Can they get the kill onto Fook 1 before the rest of Cerberus arrive? Good Devour onto Killer Queen. Spat back out, but now CBL the focus. Abyssal Dive will not get him out. Blazes being the target of the Cerberus attacks. And Artemis will pick up the second kill of the fight. Charm only lands onto the minions, but Coated in a 1v3. Tries to knock Poss away, flashes, but the auto will follow from Artemis. 3 kills for nothing. And just when we started to praise the Luxury and started to say that Luxury were finding a way back into the game, they find a way to die.
Here's this Rift Herald they prepared earlier. Gonna be able to crack open this inner tower. That's gonna give a nice chunk of gold over to the side of Artemis, Fook, and Tryndamere. Poss with this local gold.
Man,
we're going to be able to crack open an inhibitor turret.
What is it with the pre-19 minutes inhibitor towers falling? This is not what I signed up for.
Yeah, it's just a lot of it's actually not even that much gold. Inhibitor towers give you sod all. They don't help a damn. But a lot blown onto Fook 1 here, and this ultimate keeps them alive for so long, and dissuading Killer Queen. It's kind of just everyone from Cerberus is here first. Vit is not here. That is actually the biggest thing, because if he's there, they can maybe look to fight. But as it is, they are completely routed. They are just running and letting Cerberus, with very powerful chase tools, run after them and cut them down.
But you can see what the plan was for Luxury. Get the kill onto Fook 1 as quickly as possible. Killer Queen gets the reset, and then all of a sudden, I think Luxury have a decent chance in the fight. The issue is, if you can't get those resets onto the Viego, and it's the Jinx who gets the resets first and gets excited, well, you're already behind in gold, and that fight's going to go very badly wrong.
Yeah, bit of an attempt at the Dragon Steel, I suppose, coming out there. So that's something Luxury's got going for them, I guess. They have 2 Drakes. They can try and pick up, if they can keep control of it, keep finding their way into these, they can maybe try and come back with that Hextech Soul, but they are losing a lot of gold across the map. They are now down 4k, and now Poss should be pretty comfortable to just stand in this side lane and say, Dakota, you can't take any more towers. That's enough split pushing for you. He's going for the quick blades as well, so really just looking to play the Beyblade.
Beyblade. Sorry, you just had to get that song in my head.
To be honest, I don't remember the theme song.
I'd try to
was it
sing
really
it,
that
but
awful?
wow.
I
I
mean,
think you
probably.
did me like that, Marby.
Hey,
It wasn't
you
a
didn't write the
banging song.
lyrics. Like,
Um,
I'm just saying it doesn't hold up to the likes of Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Man.
have you
Those
ever
were
heard the
bangers.
Japanese version of the Pokemon theme song?
I can't say I have.
It's very interesting. That's what I'm going to use. Interesting. I won't repeat some of the lyrics because, well, it's not appropriate for the stream. But it's very questionable lyrics considering it's a children's show.
Yeah, look, some of those children's
Fun
shows,
factoid.
their mangas, they get weird. Anyway, let's continue looking at this Baron, because this setup is gonna be about as weird as one of those shows. Yeah, no one's going for anything. Luxury is very timid. It's just an easy setup for Cerberus. They control this jungle. It's very easy for them to just walk in because Luxury doesn't want to do anything. Blaze is going to poke his head over the wall and probably eat a hell of a lot of damage if he does so.
Oh, he went for the play, jumps back out, baits a few members of Cerberus, but it's always a bit sad when you as the assassin take more damage. Oh, pass. Tryndamere ult is a thing, and it means that Poss is able to find the outplay onto Coated as a minion wave, and the members of Cerberus crash into the inner tower in the top lane. And if Coated had got that kill onto Poss, you'd say worth, but they don't, so it's most certainly not worth.
Is it even worth it? Because if it, look, it's all a disaster. I don't think that one kill means anything.
It would have been a big shutdown.
Sure, it might have made Jace a little bit more happy. It might have brought him a bit back and made him a bit more effective in sort of putting poke in towards team fights, but that's still just gold. It's just coming up to about 6k. And where is Luxury looking for an angle? They don't seem to be having one until for another 2 minutes. It's not going well. Let's see how it starts here. It's just past walking in. He has 3,000 dashes.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. It's so unfair.
I mean, just get good, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Poss is very fed. So, if Coated was equally strong, he probably doesn't die, I want to say.
I mean, what's he going to do? Do more damage to the target you can't kill?
Have more stats and not be a level down. Might keep him alive for a bit longer. I don't know. I'm fishing for something here.
Yeah, look, there's always an opportunity. There's a chance that the crits aren't quite enough. Those are very painful to Vit. That's a lot.
Oh, Yado, good charm now. Looking for Vit as well. Super Mega Death Rocket. Does he get thrown? Now Artemis flashing over the wall. Gets one, gets a second. Looks to Killer Queen as well. Killer Queen flashing away means that the zap won't land, but Yado Spirit rushes forward and picks up the 4th kill of the fight. Vit, the only person left standing, ironic considering that Vit was the person who got caught out to start off the play. But the inhibitor tower will fall 24 minutes into this game. Cerberus, do they look to end things here? Still got a few seconds on the death timers for Luxury.
Surely not. They're going for it. Apparently, Artem has heard the desk saying he'd been a little bit quiet and he really wanted to step up. But no, they're gonna pull back. I don't.
Can we get a replay of how Fook 1 died at the end?
He's just
why we look
around. Oh god, did Poss got another kill, didn't he? Because he's got a million
Again?
dashes. Yeah, he's got a million dashes. It's just slight mistiming on that hammer form Q, and oh, yep, Poss doesn't have his ult this time, maybe.
No, he doesn't. Now the potential turnaround. Killer Queen was not able to steal away a Tryndamere ult, because that could have been very big, but the chase will continue. Yado incredibly low. Ronopi with a battle dance, but Coated jumping on top to the skies. Coated picks up the kill. Killer Queen has no time to steal away souls. Goes on to Ronopi, devoured. That's going to give the movement speed to CBL. Spat back out. Backs away as Fook 1 shows up. 3 kills for the side of Luxury. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. Maybe the game's not over.
Well, it's not over in a literal sense, that's for sure, and they're going to be able to actually pick up a third Drake as well, so that win condition, it's alive!
Yeah.
It's there! They just have to stall out for 5 minutes, but looking at how hungry Cerberus were before, that might just go for a play like that last one, where they just commit way too hard for a Nexus turret.
So,
instead of taking the open inhibitor.
I have a scenario where I think Luxury can win, right? Are you ready to hear this?
Okay. Shoot.
So, Drake's going to be spawning up, and just before that, Luxury are posturing around the Drake. Pos and Coated are in the top side. Coated then goes for a trade on Pos, and Pos forgets to press R, so Coated gets the kill. He can then teleport into the river for a Drake play, and then Artemis forgets how to be as sick as Artemis is, and then Luxury win the fight, they get Soul, and then they win the game.
So, Cerberus suffer a DDoS attack is basically what I'm hearing. Because, okay, the Baron's been started up, and this could pop up very shortly. Run in peace.
Oh, Killer Queen, that's a little bit too late. Grand entrance in Killer Queen is just blown up. Luxury need to back away. Fook one going over the wall. Crescent Garden's going to be a 1-for-1. The Bit being focused down. Yano will get the kill. And the Undying Rage keeps Pos alive for longer. 2 kills for 1. Cerberus coming out on top. But Luxury can't get back to the mid lane. And the minion waves are crashing forward. Super minions with a Baron buff on top.
Yeah, they've got more than enough damage to just sort of focus down the Nexus turrets if they want to. But there is damage to be worried about.
Can they clear away the minion wave? Can Cerberus engage?
Oh my god, they can't just... This is
they're trying to ignore Blazes! That's a crit from Artemis! That gets the kill! The fighters in the final Nexus Tower will fall, and Cerberus will take game 1.
It was a little bit messy at the end from Cerberus as they got a little cocky, pushed too hard for that